kind of hope this story isn't too awful. I'm looking at Miss Purcell, so I'll ask her to tell me afterward. But it's important. It was when I was in seminary. We had two students with us in seminary who were from China. And to be a Catholic there is illegal. Yeah, and meaning you can be executed. In fact, both of those guys were. I went to school with them for 5 years, and not long after they were ordained, they went home to China and eventually were arrested and executed. And I met their bishop. He was a retired bishop, but I remember they were so excited for us to meet him. And when we got to meet him, it was at Mass at seminary. So it was kind of like this, where this is called the sanctuary up here, right? And it's supposed to be higher, right? In case the priest is short. No, I'm just kidding. It's supposed to be higher because this is the high place for us, right? But so we were so excited to meet their bishop, and he came out dressed kind of like this, but he was in a wheelchair. And when he brought his wheelchair up to the edge, I was sitting right about where you are, and so his knees were right at my eye level. I could see his knees in the chair, and they were about this big. He had tiny little legs and these huge, lumpy knees. And he gave the homily in Mandarin, and I don't speak Mandarin. I didn't understand a word of it. 2 people in that whole church understood one word he said. But he didn't need to speak English because I knew how his knees got that way. That he had been arrested and put in a jail cell, and they told him this was in the this would have been in, I can't remember when the Cultural Revolution was. I want to say 1976. And they arrested him, and they told him to give up his faith in Jesus. And when he said no, they broke his knees. And then they left him there. And then they waited a little while, a few months, and they came in again and told him to abandon his faith. And he said no, and they broke his knees again. And this happened for about 15 years of his life, sitting in a prison cell. And every few months they come in and tell him, you have to give up your faith. And when he said no, they would hit his knees with hammers. And I met him in 1996. And I looked at those knees, and then I looked at his face. And I promise you, I'm telling you the truth. I promise. His face was alive with joy. I didn't speak his language, but he laughed, he smiled, and I thought, man, I'd complain. I would tell people how hard it was. And the reason people like that happen, like that bishop, like the guys I got to go to seminary with, the way those kind of people happen is because they believe what you and I are going to celebrate over the next few days. See, what he knew was, those guys can break my knees. They can starve me and they can hurt me, but they can't take the most important thing away from me. I know that Jesus wins in the end. What that bishop knew and what my friends knew and know is that Jesus wins. And whatever victory evil has on this earth, it's so temporary compared to how beautiful and eternal heaven will be. And all of that's possible because what we're going to celebrate tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. That, as you heard in our gospel today, Jesus' best friends ran away from him when he needed them. One of them was like, Jesus, who? No idea. Yeah. One of them, as you heard, sold Jesus, sold him out. Here, give me cash. I'll tell you where you can get him. And then they tortured and killed him, and he rose. Who saw that coming? That's what we're going to celebrate, guys. And that's not just what Jesus did for us, it's what Jesus did to us. You changed the day he rose from the dead, and you weren't even born yet. And you are unconquerable because of Jesus. Not because of how smart you are or how wonderful you are, and you're all wonderful. But because Jesus is in you, and nothing stopped him. So I hope that we approach these next few days aware that everything about us is unconquerable because of Jesus. That there's no suffering you're going to experience that can beat you, because in you is the God who rose from the dead. So let your lives be filled with joy, not because of you, oddly enough, but because of Jesus in you. It's the best thing about you. It's unconquerable, eternally loved. And so let's get after these next 3 days with all of our heart, all of our love, all of our prayer, and all of our strength. Amen?
Amen.